In this tutorial, I'll give you a quick introduction into lists and adapters. In our example application, we want to display a list of staff, which we simply pull from the address book via the contacts application. A list is thus a sort of enhanced view that has as many children as it needs to display the content, and the children of a list are uniform. In this case, there are 8 entries, so I need 8 identical children to display the list's content. Fortunately, in Android, I needn't compose this list myself. In the ADT, in the graphical layout view, there's a section called Composite, and this contains such an enhanced view or widget called List View. I've already prepared the staff page with such a list, which I've pasted into the layout. There it is. I've also modified the text view. This should be displayed whenever there's nothing to display in the list, which means when the list is empty. Now take a look at the XML by clicking on staff.xml, scroll down to the list and the text view. Here they are. And now look closely at the ID. Normally, I would write something that looks a little similar to this one. @ plus ID and the ID of this item. In this case, there is no plus, and the ID is prefixed with Android:. If there isn't a plus sign, that always means this refers to something that already exists. In this case, we just use a predefined ID, which is called list, which is, as indicated by the Android prefix, defined in Android code itself. You see, this is the ID list, defined in Android itself, and the ID is called empty. You'll see what that is good for in a sec. Let's open the staff Java page by double-clicking on it. Right now, staff is a subclass of the class activity. I'll change this class now to list activity. Hit Ctrl-Shift and O, or Command-Shift and O on Mac. It has already implemented means to leverage lists. And when I start this application in the emulator, then you'll see that Android indeed hides the list and instead only shows the text view it should show when the list is empty, which is the case right now. Okay then, how do we fill a list? The means in Android to fill a list are adapters. Let's provide a simple example. In the values folder, I've created an arrays.xml, and within that resource file, through markup, I have declared an array of strings. So I can simulate contacts. When I want to display these names in a list, I'll need an adapter. And for this example, that would be an array adapter. The type is string. Call the variable adapter. And create a new adapter. The array adapter. We'll take this constructor. The current context will be this activity. The ID of the text view, the adapter should push the data to. And this array of string is the data to use. So context this. Text view resource ID could be something which I have composed myself. In this case, I'd rather use something predefined from Android. Android r.layout.simple list item _1. This is simply one text view. If I had 2 different strings to display, I would use simple list item 2. Object refers to an array of string in this case. I have it defined in r.array.contactNames, which gets generated automatically as soon as I create this string array in the markup of this resource file. As soon as I provide at least one string array, an internal class within r.java, here, array will be created with a member whose name corresponds to the name of this item. But this reference is of type int, but here in the Java code, I should retrieve the object itself. So all that's left to do is I have to retrieve the resource. I call getResources, and from the resources, I get a string array with that ID. Close the bracket. Now the adapter has everything it needs, the data, the layout item to instantiate, and now the list activity can tell the one list it knows, which is indicated by this ID, a list that we have defined, that is going to be populated by using this adapter. Set list adapter, adapter. And that's it. I think that's a very good example for how much Android simplifies coding for you. So let's see it in action. I start on the emulator. There it is. Go to Staff. And there they are. So every time you need to populate lists, you make use of one kind of an adapter, and Android handles the rest.